See, I
episode
just
is brought to you by Father Weems.
I just made it just before I saw the live.
Yeah,
button.
it was pretty close, Mephisto.
Yeah, I'm good like that.
I bet Gary's sad that he didn't catch it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I satisfied both.
Do you want me to share that quote from my son?
You've done that already on the show. You told that story.
I know. It doesn't bother me. I'm not embarrassed by that stuff. So anyway, let's get this baby started.
All right. So foreskin then. What?
Foreskin.
And now a word from our sponsor, Gary's Wholesale Sausage Emporium.
For the intro today. Yeah, you don't get your favorite song. I'm sorry, buddy.
That's all he's here for.
It's Friday.
It's your Freitag.
Correct. Also the end of my fucking work week.
Yay!
I'm planning to not leave
she
the
had
house.
a crazy thing happen to her at work yesterday.
Oh
dude.
my god! Yeah,
they had this security guard, and apparently they had two of them there. Thank God, because apparently he has been watching Anima and her friends' work breaks.
And,
well, my colleague Melly in particular, because we are both petite, and he was spying us out.
I shouldn't say her name, but
no one.
He went on break first, and he went to grab her, and she turned and yelled at him, and then the other security guard came in and ended the problem quickly, and the guy was fired. But
he was
I worry
working
about Anima.
a week and a half.
Oh, hey, was that your daughter?
Yeah. She's
Oh man, tell her to come back and say hi.
Do you want to? Really?
Yeah.
I can have her on the thing. Hold on.
Yeah, come on, get over here. Awesome. She looks like a ginger too, Anima, so you're in trouble.
No, I'm not. I think she's shy. Oh.
There she is. She's not shy if she's his daughter.
No,
hi.
no, really. Hi.
I don't know what he told me, just to come talk to you guys, so I'm just saying hi.
Well, hi, I'm his friend Gary, and this is my fiance over here, Anima. Come on camera, Anima, so you can say hi to her.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
And
Nice
below
to meet
me
you.
is our producer, director. That's
Hey.
Martin. Martin, come on camera
Hello.
just for a second to say hi to her.
Okay. Oh.
It's scary. He's
Yeah.
Venezuelan, but lives in Mexico. I think he's
And
lost.
sounds like a Russian.
Well, this is your fault. We're gonna lose viewership, but here we go.
Don't be stupid.
There he
Hello.
is. So how are you doing? And what's it like being Mephisto? That's what we call him, your dad. What's it
Yeah.
like being his daughter?
He's a really nice dad. I really like him.
Is he paying you to say that?
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, blink twice if you need our help. You blink twice. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, Princess Bride. That's a good
Great
one.
film.
Ooh,
Great
Yeah.
film. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of my daughter's favorites too. My daughter's a little older than you. She's 25.
Oh,
So
little. I think 11 years. Something about that.
yeah, 11 years. Hey, you're good with math. Look at you. So just tell me, what's life like there for you? Going to school and stuff.
Let's say I've been in the United States and we were at a baseball game, and there were like the third strike, and there were noise, and it sounded like rockets shooting at us from Israel. So it was very scary. I was very scared at that time. Yeah, that's the same noise, and I was like, what?
Because of my military life, I am not fond of fireworks myself.
Oh,
And so, and yeah, because your dad and I are both veterans, but from two different militaries that are allies. because he was in the IDF, and of course I was in the U.S. Army. So, are you going to serve when you get old enough?
Yeah, for sure.
Outstanding, good girl.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but anyway, sweetheart, thank you for dropping in and saying hi to us. We just wanted to meet you.
Okay.
And if
Thank
you
you.
ever want to join
It's
us to
fine.
talk about a movie, we'll do a movie just for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice meeting. It's nice meeting you guys too.
Thank you. It was good meeting you too, sweetheart. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
No, she's not shy.
No, I like her for that. That's great, man. She was all in on that
Dude,
conversation.
she can stand in for you if you're busy.
Absolutely. That's a sharp little kid you got there, man.
Fuck no.
You got to be proud of her.
Yeah, of course I
She
am.
is a smart young lady.
Well, you know,
You see, even Martin
What is she
agreed.
taking over Mephisto's channel?
no, we had a conversation today, like a few hours ago. She asked me if I can send her to an IQ test, and I told her IQ test doesn't mean anything. And she said, "Well, don't you think I'm smart?" I was like, "I know you're smart. It's just that what would an IQ tell me like that I don't know by myself? Do you want validation that you have X amount of
It
like
helps.
IQ points?"
I think
Right?
it helps. I think it does help because my dad allowed me to think I was an idiot for years, and it actually had an impact on my schooling. And I eventually confronted him about it because I found out when I was in my 20s that I had a high IQ, and he just kept it from me. And I'm like, that could have helped me with school knowing that, because I had let such a low self-esteem. I think it helps with esteem. I really do.
Yeah, but she doesn't
think
need
so.
that confirmation.
That's the issue. She doesn't need that
She
self-esteem.
seems pretty. She's very sure-footed the way she talks.
Yeah,
I'll say that right now.
and this is her being caught off guard and not knowing you guys. If she knew you guys, or if she was not on the way to bed, or like caught off guard, you
Right.
would probably get a much like a decent conversation that you can go into, like ask her about stuff that she wants or all that stuff. So get a decent conversation going about stuff that you might actually want to talk to her about.
Well, I was fascinated with her little story about you guys going to America, and she went to a ball game and how the crowd cheering sounded like rockets. That must be unsettling for someone her age.
Show and tell. I think I've seen this, right?
No, I have not.
Oh,
Hold on, let me engorge you.
There. This is Yankee Stadium.
Oh, you went to New York?
Yeah, I told you this, didn't I?
Nope.
he's Jewish. Where else is he gonna go?
Right.
I went to all the Jewish places: Los Angeles, New York, and Vegas.
By the way, I learned this when I was a teenager, that there are more Jews in New York than there are in Israel.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
And that shocked me.
I think in Israel, the last census was, I believe, 9.2 or 9.3 million. 21% is Arab Muslim. Another 2% another 3% is Druze, which is a sect. Like, it's not really Muslim. And it's not Christian. It's in between. It's kind of a hard.
Are you talking about like Coptic Christians?
No, Druze is something completely different. It's very much of this area. So they're prevalent in Syria, Lebanon, and in Israel. So that sort of region. So it's sort of the north of our country and south of theirs and east. Anyway, So another 3% is Druze, Christians, and other faiths, and the rest is Jewish. It's about 71, 72. You guys do the math.
Yeah, I know. I was doing some reading the other night, and I was shocked that Egypt used to be 80% Coptic Christian.
Yes.
And now they're less than 20%.
Yes, but you're talking about like before the Moors.
Right.
You're talking about way before the Moors, so it's pretty much
before the Moors.
Yeah, so that's like 800. What? Around 800. So it's a little bit confused. Once there were Coptic Christians, yeah, but that was a hell of a long time ago.
Yep.
Anyway,
More
so
New York
if you look at the math, it's about 7 million Jewish people in Israel. There's way more Jewish people in New York. It's not really New York, it's the tri-state area. So it's New York, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh, I guess. What's the tri-state area? I guess it's including Pittsburgh, which is generally speaking Philadelphia. That's sort of a zone. So yeah, it's pretty much there, and there's quite a few specifically in Los Angeles, some in San Francisco, not a lot. Connecticut, yeah. I'm not sure how many Jews are in Connecticut.
Get right. I like that.
What, Connecticut?
Some people that don't know it will say Connecticut, and it's like, no, it's Connecticut.
Oh, no. There's Connecticut, Providence. What's up there? Maine, Vermont,
New England.
New England is a state? It's not a state.
Yeah.
New England is a state, not New Hampshire? Are you sure?
England. I'm pretty sure it's New England.
New England is an area.
Well,
Gary, it's Massachusetts up there. It's a pretty big one, where Boston is. Dude, are you opening Google Maps? There's no New England state. There's New England
it's
area.
A region, the New England states, period. Yeah.
I'm always shocked and surprised I catch people on their own country. I used to...
Well, we ignore the states because
I know
they're traditionally overly liberal and they're annoying because they except for the rest of the country.
There used to be a book. It contained all the maps of the world, and it was called an atlas. When you open the book,
Atlas is a character.
I know, named after the character. You know what? The book at the start.
I've never heard of this. Hold on, let me look this up.
So on the cover, there's a picture of a globe with longitude, the latitude, and the guy holding the ball. He's called Atlas.
You're talking about that one. Yeah, the Atlas. Yeah, there you go.
You open the thing. The first page had all the flags. So I used to know all the flags back when it was USSR.
I could spend all day talking to you, but the fact is, we have an audience that I haven't.
I know.
Yet.
I
need to say hi to him. I need to say hi to Andy Moore, first man in the house today. We got D. Bud Martin, of course, the hardest working wrench in our community. And Bush McFadden is here. And Penny has dropped in to say hi. And I'm looking to see. And of course, our dear friend Snortopupus Tuber. Hello. And most dangerous liver of all the community is his. And that's something I learned growing up with Jewish siblings is eating a lot of Jewish soul food.
Soul food.
My favorite was the liver pate my sister would make.
I make it too.
It's beef liver and it's so fucking good.
Oh, you did beef liver?
Yeah.
I use that for steaks.
Yeah, she would cook it and then puree it and then make this pate with it. It's just incredible with onions. And by the way, all the Jewish clients that we had when I worked as a short order cook ruined liver and onions for me for a long time. Because they would go from New York down to Florida and they would stop off at our Shoney's. And I went home smelling like liver and onions. It was really gross after a while. I couldn't
know.
it was permeated in my skin. And I'm like showering for hours. And my dad's like, get out of that shower, boy. I know what you're doing in there. I'm just trying to get the liver and onions off me, Dad. And
the original recipe is actually chopped liver. So it's cooked and then it's chopped rather than pureed. But pureeing is better. And putting a stick of butter in there is better, but you're not supposed to as a Jewish person.
And that is how you get
but I
gout,
don't
by the
care.
way.
But
That's
I
how
don't
you
care.
get gout, eating that too much. Eat that
No.
too often, you're going to get the gout.
I don't think so, but okay.
Oh,
Plus,
no,
I don't use.
it's an organ meat. Organ meats are what really increases your chances of getting gout. And boy, oh boy, some people like to have that pate all the time. All of a sudden, one day they're like, my toe's hurting really bad.
I never heard the
you got
connection
the gout.
between
Organ meat.
inner organs and gout.
Yeah, that's the
Is that
area
why
where
Jewish people have a lot of gout?
I'm an expert at is medical. Yeah. I would assume so because the consumption of organ meat and too much of it. It's not a little bit won't hurt you. But when you eat it often, it's going to give you the gout. See Atlantic City. Are you talking about the movie or the place? Oh, Gambit 87 is here. He says hi to you guys.
Hi, Gam. Look at this.
And here he says hi to me. Wait, what? Go back. I hate her anyway. So we're going to be talking about a classic film here from '95. And Anima's got a little bit of a backstory for how the film came about. You want to tell them?
Yeah, sure. So in my lunch break, I started to do a little research, and I came across an interview with Barry Sonnenfeld and Elmer Leonard, the director and the writer. And Sonnenfeld told the host how he came across that story. And the story is he was on his way to a cruise with his wife, and at the airport he realized he packed only one book, a Tom Clancy novel. So he panicked, went to the bookstore, and was looking for another book to read on the cruise in case he got bored. And he had heard of the writer, but he had never read anything by him. And he found Shorty. Elmer Leonard, yeah. So he got that book, and he never got to the Tom Clancy novel on the cruise. Instead, he got a hold of DeVito because he saw him in the role that Travolta ended up playing. And DeVito immediately was interested in the book, and he bought the right. He outbid another actor who wanted it too, but he got the rights. Only the problem was he was about to go do Matilda, where he directed and starred. So he didn't have the time that he would have needed for the role. So they had to find another actor, and thank God they found Travolta, because I don't think
he would have been terrible.
Chili.
The movie would not have been anywhere near as cool.
But we owe this movie to a panic before a cruise.
Yeah. And of course, I'm a big Elmore Leonard fan. He's the guy who created the character John Russell that I named my character after and vindicated. That's just how big of an Elmore Leonard fan I am. Elmore Leonard was best known for Westerns, but he wrote crime novels too. And this is one of them. And the funny part of it is he's close friends with the real Chili Palmer. There's a real Chili Palmer, and he's in the movie.
Really?
Okay.
In the scene at the restaurant at the beginning, the guy standing on our screen. Did you reverse it, Martin?
No.
Okay. He'll be on the left-hand side of Farina's character. I just forgot his name. What's his name?
I forgot.
Point him out when we get there.
No. I hate it when I forget the names of characters.
Oh my God.
And
I do that all the time, and I'm younger than you.
Ray Barboni. And not Barbone, Barboni. And he's standing there giving him shit, going, it's chilly outside, it's chilly inside. Hey,
Hey.
And the guy standing to his immediate left behind him is the real Chili that the story is based on. And all the villains that you hear mentioned in the movie are real people. All the main gangsters like Momo.
So Ray Barboni too?
No. The main villains, the main gangsters you hear, including the cartel leader that comes up. Where's my nephew? You know,
I don't know.
he's based
yeah.
on a real cartel leader. The name.
I wouldn't be friends with Fredo. You don't know if he's gonna betray you.
I'll tell you in a second.
So,
Well-
yeah, this is great. Where he comes up there to give him some shit. I love this scene.
Well,
That's
technically,
the real
his name
chili
is
right there.
technically his name is Mr. Escobar,
That's it, Escobar. He uses the name
Like-
Escobar in the film.
as in the real Escobar.
He did this in the movie. Used the names of two
Oh,
prominent.
he just used the
crime
names
lords.
of famous.
Yeah,
oh,
he used like Momo was really his nickname, and Escobar is one of the most well-known fucking cartel leaders in the history of the cartels especially here in the Americas. But that guy on the left there, that's the real Chili. And he
cool.
wanted him in the film as kind of a nod to him, a thank you.
So Travolta did his character correct.
Yeah.
Very strange.
And I love Travolta's performance in this. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't know why this movie got a bad rap. Maybe because the second one did awful. I don't know.
think if anything, it's it because it was actually a hit here in America and everybody loved it.
I loved it, but people forgot this actually existed.
That's true. They did. This is one of those forgotten films from the 90s. And I think it should be remembered because I consider it one of Travolta's best films. Not the best, but I would say in the top 3.
I would.
And I love this. This guy here has always played Italian or French characters that run restaurants since the 50s. He was also the guy you see him running restaurants and stuff like that in Columbo, because the actor in real life was close friends with I just forgot his name that played Columbo.
You don't
Peter
ask
Falk.
me. I'm
Peter Falk.
Peter Falk. You don't have to cuss, honey. I heard you the first time.
What?
I got it.
Fuck off.
Peter, you folk.
Not in the mood.
Oh, she's not in the mood.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's full moon. or
She's
something.
mad
I
that
didn't-
the security guard grabbed her friend's ass and not hers.
No, Jesus Christ. I'm
Mood is
glad
for
my
cattle
schedule
and
got
women.
messed up. But no, I've had patients instead of customers all week. So much.
Yeah, I know you
patience.
said they released the asylums to go
Yeah.
shopping.
That's what it felt like today.
This is it right here. One of the greatest moments in the fucking film. He opens that door, and like the minute I saw him put on his gloves in the car,
Yeah.
I'm like, he's not going in there to talk.
No.
He fucking breaks his nose, and he's like, "You fucking broke my nose! You broke my nose!" So fucking funny. Now he's coming in there to shoot him, and the two guys start clearing their throats. Really loud. He hears him, grabs his pistol, and just sits there waiting for him to come through the door. And he's such a good shot, he parts his hair.
Yep.
And he yells, "Call fucking 91111." Now, this is another cool character actor here. There he is. This guy is best known for having been in The Godfather.
Yeah.
He's the Las Vegas guy that disrespects what's his name? Michael and his father.
Yeah, and he gets shot in the eye.
Clipped right in the eye. And it's probably one of the most memorable scenes in the
In the
Godfather.
same position he is in right now.
And get ready for it. He also puts glasses on. This
Yep.
is a nod to the Godfather right here, just to let you guys know. And I
Yeah,
love that.
It's
Mo Green.
It's so smart. This movie is so smart because whoever made it loves Hollywood. I don't mean
That's
just the
Sonny.
film. They love
Sonny. I mean,
Hollywood.
Sonnenfeld. It's Barry Sonnenfeld is a huge movie fan.
Yeah, so you'll get references to different mafia movies.
Like right here too. Momo
It's
is actually
very
the nickname
subtle.
of a famous mobster, Sam Giancana.
Yeah. It's very, very subtle. The way he's dressed, the way he comes up. This is like The Godfather Part 2 in the
Yeah.
past. It's very subtle.
Yeah, well, it
It's
has
not
that
like-
look. It has that look. But
It's not
this is-
overt.
let me explain this scene, why this is so important in the story. Because he goes to talk to his captain, complaining that Chili's disrespecting him. He goes, "That's not my problem. Chili's not our guy. He belongs to Momo. And you got to leave him alone as long as Momo's alive." Cut to New York. Momo is walking up some stairs. Why he doesn't use an elevator?
I'm assuming it's broken.
He's
and
breathing
shattered.
hard going up these stairs. Oh, gets to the door and why is the lights off here? Why is it so dark? And he knocks on the door and they're like, "Who is it?" "It's me, Momo." "Come in." Opens the door, it's dark in there. He goes, "Where's everybody?" And then the lights come on with a happy birthday, Momo, and he has a fucking heart attack and dies. That's the end of Chili Palmer's protection.
Because the thing is, you expect him to be executed as soon as he opens the
Yeah,
door.
you
Like
think
I
it's a
said,
hit. You think it's a hit.
You
fucking
think it's a
birthday
hit.
Party.
but then it's a birthday party. But he still dies.
Still
so
dies.
it is a
Yeah.
hit. So
And
it
it
is
plays that song. What is that song again, Anima? Funicula, right?
Something like
The
that.
Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that classic Italian comical song. That's the song they play over his death.
The Three Tenors did it too.
And
Finiculi,
Rene
Funicola,
Russo.
that's it.
Yeah. Rene Russo was the it girl of the 90s. She really was. Like, God, she was gorgeous. Despite having that profound chin. She had a very pronounced chin. But I thought she was gorgeous. Her eyes, her eyebrows, everything about her. And she had so much character. She was perfect for Mel Gibson's counterpart and love interest in the Lethal Weapon film. And her first role was in 3, right? Lethal Weapon 3. Yeah.
Yes.
I actually liked Lethal Weapon 3 more than I like Lethal Weapon 2.
I'm with you.
And of
I'm with
course,
you. Because to be
directed by
fair,
Barry.
it kind of Lethal Weapon 3 kind of led into one of my favorite parodies, which is Loaded Weapon Part 1.
Yeah, and you and I talked about this. I told you I hate saying this, but I did not like that movie. And I think it's because I have a love-hate relationship with Emilio. It's like, 'cause he's not right for most parts. I liked him in 2 movies. I liked him in, well, I should say, because I love the 2 films, Young Guns, and I liked him in Working Men with his brother. I thought that was a fun film, but past that, I can't stand Emilio.
Okay.
But yeah, Funicula. That's the song. It's a fun song. It really is. My favorite version of it is the one they did on VeggieTales, where they rewrote the music for Larry to sing. I used to watch those with my kid. You probably don't know what those are.
I don't.
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
I know what those are.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think they would have those in Israel. So you did watch them? Did you watch them?
Geek on here.
Wait. What are you talking about? Now I'm confused.
VeggieTales.
Veggie? Oh, I thought you talked about the song.
No, the song was used in VeggieTales, and I said, you probably
Then,
never saw that over there in Israel.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, there we go. I don't know who this guy is. He's one of his capos. I don't know what he is. He works with Chili, but he's not really in the rest of the film. He's only in this first part of the film before he goes to California. But
Yeah,
one of the
and-
first things.
It's some sort of a connective tissue because remember, Chili is working out of that like barbershop as a loan shark. So it could
Right.
be a guy who works with him. He could be some of these wise guys just serve as liaisons because the main dude, the main mafia boss, does not pick up the phone. So
Right.
it's one of those guys where you go out to Florida and tell them whatever. There's no letters, there's no nothing. There's just conversation. So there's no recording, there's no nothing. So the FBI can't trace anything. They used to do that a lot, and then they got smart. It's like, the FBI can't do nothing. And they just
because his character is just simply called Tommy, but his last name is Tommy Carlo in the script and in the credits. But he's a good actor. This guy's been around since the 70s. One of the things that makes this movie work is the soundtrack. I was really into the fact that they used some really cool songs in it. Oh yeah, this is where he comes in and let him know that you're mine now.
Yeah.
So everybody's real excited about this.
Oh, I love this interaction.
I love this too. He
Can you
threatens
do
him.
better? Yeah.
He says, "Can't you do better?" He's, no, not since Mama died. So
I was so happy that Dennis Farina got to play like a Jewish guy in Snatch after this.
Yeah.
oh my God, yeah. And that's another film we got to do. I love Snatch. Actually, I love
We
all
did
of those.
Snatch.
Did we?
Yes.
Really?
I don't remember ever talking about Snatch on here.
Okay.
Because I like that one because Brad Pitt's Irish accent as the Pikey is great. Because he's terrible with his Irish accent in The Devil's Own. But boy, playing the Pikey, because all he had to do is do a slight brogue and talk like he's talking gibberish. And it's fucking perfect because you can't understand half of what he says.
And that's why he played that character. Because he wanted to be on a Guy Ritchie's movie, but he couldn't have
He's terrible
make
at
an
accent.
English accent to save his life. And that's why they did for him. Well, you had to be the Pikey.
Well, I'm a big fan of Guy Ritchie's crime films. I like his crime films. I enjoyed Sherlock Holmes movies, but I don't think that's his strength. His strength is crime films with comedy in it. I mean, he did Snatch, and before that, when he did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and I fucking love that movie too. So anyway, Barboni in this, his nose is fucked up from that point forward because he never got it fixed. So his nose is like all out of whack. And I love the way he talks because he talks slightly like, for the first part of the film, he's got his nose topped up, when he's talking. Yeah, an Irish mumbler in Snatch. He's a traveler.
Traveler.
Yeah, here in the U.S. we call them travelers. Over there they call them pikeys, and they're basically like gypsies.
They're not basically gypsies. They are gypsies, and they call themselves gypsies. They have no. It's just in the States. They're like, no, we're Romani. It's like, please, you call yourselves gypsies. Stop it. When did gypsy become a slur? It's not a slur. It's just the description of the people. Yeah.
And my daughter, she had some experience with some real gypsies over in Romania. And she came back and she said, Dad, I didn't like the kids. They were constantly trying to steal shit from you, Dad.
It's a thing.
Close looking in your stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's terrible to hear. But this is a great scene because, I didn't know what she was doing. She put her hand on the inner part of his thigh. She says, "You're a really good guy. I know you're a criminal, but you're a really good guy." But she puts her hand on the inside of her thigh, and she says, "I wish my husband really was dead." And then Julie's like, "What?" This is the reveal that the guy didn't die.
Yep.
He took the insurance money and ran to Vegas. And it's played by a great actor for comedic roles, David. What is his last name? Paymer. David Paymer.
And I love that they used him later on as the bumbling customer in Ocean's 13.
13.
Where he's the guy who gets molested, let's call it that way. He gets heavily fucked with, and then they repay him by giving him the money.
Now this guy that actor there is really good at a Joey Bishop impression. He's a stand-up comedian, and I got to tell you, Barry Sonnenfeld actually has a close relationship with a lot of comics, stand-up comics, and emotional thing, because Anima talked about like something earlier, and I wanted to bring up that what he was really good at is he is kind of a very emotional guy, Barry Sonnenfeld. And when he had to do Men in Black, in order to get Tommy Lee Jones to take the part, he cried.
Why?
He got really emotional and cried to get him to take the part in Men in Black. That's just Barry Sonnenfeld. You'd have to ask him why he did it. That's a true story. True story. Now, this is a joke that has a repeat later with Travolta. And here we have Gene Hackman. He's like, doesn't want to go down there. He really doesn't want to go downstairs because she heard a noise. It's like, it's your fucking house. You go look. But no, she's got a guy there that she doesn't even want there and going to have him go downstairs.
No,
And,
wait, isn't that her house?
I just said that. It's your house. You go down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get up to,
No, he
to
doesn't
defend
want to get out
her,
of bed, yeah.
and he tells her to go downstairs.
And then he's stalling, like
he's stalling. He
go
talks
pee.
about the dog. Oh, what happened to Fluffy? You know, it's like, go downstairs.
I thought you have a dog.
I absolutely love Gene in this role because it's so different from.
He's also wearing fake front teeth, they're veneers, for the role to give him wider, bigger teeth.
I'm talking about the character. Like, have you seen him play a character this timid and scared and sort of a? No. He's sort of a beta because when he has perceived strength, he acts like he has one, but he really doesn't. And when he gets found out, is like he reverts.
It's all
back.
fake.
It's all acting. Fake, and he reverts back to where he actually is, and it's really funny. It's a really funny role, and he plays offbeat to what he usually does. I mean, take like villains that he played, Unforgiven, or even like Superman or The Firm. He's a stern individual. He can play stern really good, or goofy, or goofy like in Superman. But he is like when he mocks Miss Tessmacher and that sort of thing. He is firm. You don't get these vibes from this character. This character is a pussy. This Zim character is so crazy. And Zim. He's so timid and he's so scared of everything.
He's trying to be clever though about not having to go out of bed when he comes up with the theory that he did turn off the TV, but then he put the remote on the floor, so maybe the dog just stepped on it. He's like, just let it go. Let's go to sleep. Let the TV run. I don't care.
All right. Yeah, it's no big deal. 11 Alpha is here, and so is Paul Smith. Welcome, guys.
Hey, guys.
We're celebrating this film and celebrating Gene Hackman. And by the way, by the time I went to bed last night, that yesterday couldn't get any more fucking weirder than when I went to bed. Because if you guys aren't keeping up on it, what happened is apparently maintenance guys are the ones who did the 911 call, and they saw her through a window.
Yes.
And maybe seen him, I don't know. It's really kind of confusing. But what ended up happening, as the story progressed during the day, that he died, apparently his wife was dead. Then it was his dog was dead. And then the dog was in a kennel, but no, the dog was in a closet. She was found, I think, in the bathroom with a space heater next to her, and she was surrounded by pills. She was wearing sweats and I think a bathrobe over a t-shirt. And he was found in a mudroom. If you don't know what a mudroom is, that's a room that you have off of the back door of the back door. Back door.
I thought it was just the entrance.
The back of the house or the main entrance. You'll have this room where you can kick off the mud from your shoes and hang up your jackets and such. It's kind of like an old school foyer,
You know what we
So,
call that in
anyway.
German, Gary? Small rooms like this, we call it Windfang. It means wind catcher.
Wind catcher. So that's where he was found. He was fully clothed, though I think he was wearing slippers, and he had his
And
cane.
his cane, yeah.
And it was, first thought maybe he fell, and then because the first announcement, it made me immediately think, oh my God, this is a carbon monoxide situation or some other gas,
They have
but
ruled that out
then
now,
they ruled that
right?
out immediately.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, what the fuck? That's not fucking normal. Then I thought maybe he died and she self-deleted, and then the dog. And then I'm like, okay, this has gotten too fucking weird. But no, it gets weirder. Last thing I heard before I went to bed, partially mummified. Both of them.
Yeah, that means she's
What?
been dead
Yeah.
for
Both
a
of them.
while,
Both
or
of them,
or
not just her.
or because of the space heater, she may have passed away, and the space heater accelerated the natural
Drying out, because it is a dry state.
the liquids evaporating from her body.
So, wait, that's okay too. Weird, but okay. But what the fuck with the dog? They had 3 dogs, 2 left roaming around, 1 dead in a closet. What the fuck is
And
going
that
on?
came
closet
out
thing.
like 2 days after the initial news. It came out that it wasn't just 1 dog; it was 3.
Yeah,
Okay,
and the
they
dog-
had
there was a
3
German
dogs.
Shepherd that was
Wait.
sick.
They had 3 dogs. 2 of them are still alive.
Right.
One wasn't in a
Roaming around.
closet. He was
was
in
in
a
a closet.
pen, in a closed.
No, that was
No.
corrected by the police.
Oh,
Not
really?
a pen, not a kennel. He was in the closet, is what the police said. That was their
Did they
report.
say he was in a cage or something?
No, he
In a
was just
closet.
in the closet, dead.
But listen, if the dog got hold of one of her pills since they were on the floor, maybe she just separated the.
I don't know.
the dog.
Then
And who
how did
closed
he
the door?
get into the closet?
This is a mystery for Sherlock Holmes, my friend.
Yes.
This is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard. And then Randy Quaid, I saw this morning,
Oh no!
said Randy Quaid said that he was the single highest paid royalty actor in Hollywood. Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
That he
but
received more royalties than any other actor in Hollywood in entertainment.
yeah, because he's in.
I don't know what that means,
been
but
in
he's
100
always saying that they're trying to kill people, that they were after
He's
him.
been in 100 and something movies. He's gone away. It's Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Without
it's
an
not a-
address, by the way, if you didn't know that. There's
What?
no number on the house.
Yeah, I know. It's a farm with no address.
I'm telling you, man, this is just so fucking bizarre. And I'm horrified to find out what the truth is. So,
Didn't Dennis
anyway.
Hopper have something in New Mexico where there was no address?
oh, probably. This is actually something that actors will do. They'll buy a property, and the main property has an address, but not where the house is.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it'll be a driveway that goes to other buildings, and it's not numbered. It's just
So the address
main
is like
street
the-
address,
The address is like the building where the gate
Yeah.
is.
and that's where that's what this maintenance guy said. He says, "There's no address on the house. I'll meet you at the gate and take you to where the house is."
I
There's
heard
no
the
number
call.
on the
Yeah.
house. Yeah,
I
it's a
heard the
crazy
call.
call. And that guy was disturbed. You can
Oh,
tell
yeah.
in his tone that dude was disturbed by what he saw. And so anyway, back to the movie, because here he's about to turn it off, and he stops for a second because it's David Letterman. He starts to watch it, and then Chili Palmer scares the fucking shit out of him, turning the light on. And he does this line that I've done something similar. It's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, I hope you know CPR because you just scared the shit out of me."
Yeah.
And he does the same thing here. It's like, "I think I'm going to have a heart attack. I hope you know what to do."
And then, of course,
He's
he
looking
asked
at
him,
me.
"How did you get into that house?" And the
No,
answer to
that's
that
her.
was a new clip. That's her?
Yeah, that's her
Okay.
that asks. She goes,
Oh,
"How
that's
did you
right.
get
Because
in
she
my
comes
house?"
downstairs. She hears them talking and comes downstairs. Anyway, the answer to the question gives us a new clip.
Mhm.
So
I lost where
Look
I
at-
was.
Look at me, Harry.
Oh, that's the key line in this movie is "Look at me."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
some
when
pull
he
it off
tries
and
to
some
use
don't.
that with Ray Barboni.
Yeah.
Yeah, it backfires on him because he's a pussy delivering it.
Exactly.
And he corrects him. He goes, "It's not grotesque. It's grotesque too."
Do you think Chili Palmer, the real one, is actually a movie lover like Barry Sonnenfeld?
I don't know.
Because it
'Cause
seems to me,
he changed quite a few things from the book.
yeah, because it seems to me that Chili Palmer really loves movies, where you don't expect him to, and it's a facet of sort of a self-insert facet of Barry Sonnenfeld if he loves movies that much. Because, like I said, this is in its entirety a love letter to Hollywood. Old Hollywood, new Hollywood, doesn't matter. Because there's like subtle things that are happening. All the stuff with the script and Ray Barboni and Harry Zim is all like stuff that like urban legends about the mafia washing their some of their money into failed Hollywood productions, or trying to evaporate their stuff through the books of Hollywood. It's not a new thing, but
Yeah,
bringing that up is sort of it sort of touches the subject, but it's not really touching the subject. I mean, nothing's changed since then.
So going back to the book, just to let you know, I love the reenactment of him surviving the plane crash. But what happens in the story is Chili goes to Vegas, takes the money from him, but then gambles it away. Chili does. So he needs to get the money back. So he asks the head of security at the casino if there's anybody, and that's when he finds out about Harry Zim. And that's one of the big differences in the book is Chili actually gambles that money away. And of course, that's when Harry asks for Chili's help, and there's a lot of similarities with the book. But I can't remember if he was a movie fanatic in there. I just think he is enamored when he gets there with what's going on. And
I was just saying,
I could do
No,
this.
Chili is a cinephile because when he goes to the theater, he
I'm
knows
talking about
every
from the
line
book.
of the movie.
From the book.
Okay, I haven't read that.
I've been talking about the book. I'm talking about differences between the film and the book. And in the book, I don't think he was a movie fanatic. He just gets enamored with what he sees. And I think that's borrowed from Bugsy Siegel, the Jewish mobster that was sent to Hollywood, like Mo Green, to run Vegas. And then he goes to Hollywood, but he ends up getting popped when he's in Hollywood. Got through a front room window into the back of his head. And I think through his eye. It went out his eye. He worked for Meyer Lansky.
Yep. He was friends with Meyer Lansky.
Friends and worked with him. And all three, he and Bugsy worked with
Lucky Luciano.
Lucky Luciano. That's it. I was trying to remember his name. Lucky Luciano.
Yeah.
No problemo, babe. The way he delivers that line is like he's asking for it. Get out, both of you. So I'll go ahead and play that clip, and it is a backdoor clip. So,
how'd you get in the house?
You just told me an idea for a movie. It's not bad so far. Sit down, have a drink. Tell Karen, see what she thinks.
Maybe you didn't hear me.
Well, I came in the back door.
done a lot of guys.
They're lucky.
So after she asked him, Levy scratching his head, like wondering, well, what happened to the rest of the story? And he goes, "Well, I haven't got that far." And she's the one who breaks the news to him. This is a real story. This is right out of the news. And he's the Shylock, the collector.
Yep.
And for some reason, that suddenly bugs Harry. But in the end, it's because of that he knows who he is, that he asks for his help.
Isn't Harry
This
supposed
is-
to be like Jewish?
Yeah, Harry's him. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why the Shylock thing bothered him. Never mind. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, it comes from the ancient times of that's what Jewish lenders were called, Shylocks. Because the famous character from Shakespeare
Yeah, I know.
made
It's
it even
the-
worse.
The Merchant of Venice.
Yep, the Merchant of Venice.
I mean, where
But
that
this is
comes
the-
from is that Christians were discouraged from having businesses that handle money. So the Jewish took over that part because they didn't have a problem with that.
Well, Christians had a problem with it because it's called usury and it was a sin, according to
Yeah.
the Catholic Church. So they couldn't do it. But then the church got really good at it, and so did many of the knights. In fact, the main Bank of England was the I just forgot the name of it, the Red Cross.
Templars?
Templars. The Templars
Yeah.
were the Bank of England. They did a lot of loaning out.
Yeah.
So
Part
anyway,
of the, anyway, keep going because we're gonna go on another tangent again.
yeah, because I wanted to talk about Delroy Lindo. I had
Yes.
never seen this guy before in my life. And this movie blew me away at how good he was. And of course, John Grease plays his assistant partner, who's just one of my favorite actors. He's played werewolves twice in Fright Night 2 and in Monster Squad. And I just love him as an actor. He was the uncle on Napoleon Dynamite. He was Napoleon's uncle. And of course, this is a great role for this actor here,
Gandolfini.
James. What is it?
Gandolfini.
Gandolfini. What a great character. He plays Bear, former stuntman.
It's the first time
Yeah.
I've seen him in a movie, and then I've seen him in, I think, was it 8mm or Snake Eyes?
9mm.
Not
9mm.
8mm.
He's in that.
8mm.
The one with Nick Cage. Yeah, that bad
It's
movie.
the one with the snuff film.
Yeah, the snuff film. Yeah, it's the 8mm movie. Now I remember. Yeah, it's like that's the movie that pissed me off at the end because he's trying to negotiate while he has the film on him.
Yep.
Like you can't negotiate; they could just shoot you right now. And they've got it.
It's so weird. I'm looking at Delroy's stuff right now. He's been in another Gene Hackman movie called Heist.
We're doing
With
that
that-
one. I fucking love Heist. That's where that scene because they're walking together, Delroy and Gene, and they go to a newsstand and he picks up a magazine, pays for it, and he says, "Thank you, sir." And he goes, "Well, money makes the world go round." And Delroy says, "I thought love makes the world go round." Gene goes, "Yes, the love of money makes the world go round." And I fucking love that scene. It's stuck in my head for forever. It's a great film. And those two at the end of that movie, what a movie. So anyway, so going back to the book, because I have a copy of the book. I should have got it out. It's in the box right behind me. I have the original hardback. Mac bought it for me for my birthday like 9 years ago. And I was like, thank you. And then I opened it and went, oh, you didn't get it signed by the author. I'm saying I acted like a dick. And I didn't. It's just a joke.
It's fine.
So
I think through Harry, Chili gets a lowdown on everything that is like how Hollywood really gets
Operates.
going. And Harry feeds him this information as if they're talking as if they're equals, but Chili actually gathers information for later on that he uses to get Danny DeVito's character to do the movie or to actually accept them to talk to him.
and that's all he's doing. He's an information gatherer in order to get what he wants. That's
Yeah.
how he's operated in his career as a collector, and now he's using those skills to move forward. And he's like, I could, in his mind, in the book, I could do this, and I could probably make a lot of money doing this. And he gets kind of excited about that, and he gets caught up, just like in real life with Bugsy Siegel. He gets caught up in that Hollywood life, and it's like, this is a really cool fucking world. I could give up fucking killing or beating up people, and I could just do this for a living and make a ton of money and work half as hard. So, and this is where you see what a big pussy Gene Hackman's character is in this, because he tells him, don't say a word. Let me do the talking. And then immediately he gets nervous and starts blathering and giving everything up. Yep. He screws up this whole, well, the character screws up this whole scene. Gene Hackman nailed this character of Harry Zim.
Well, the important thing is Travolta tells him, do not introduce me. I'll just sit there, ignore when they ask about me. And he immediately goes and introduces him.
Yeah. He's just he's a bumbling fucking chicken shit. He's afraid of these gangsters, and he doesn't understand that the most dangerous gangster in that room is the one that's there to work with him.
The look on Travolta's face when he starts talking, Travolta's like, oh, fuck, I knew it.
The thing about this, he knows
he's wearing a Jewish jewel on his chest, isn't he? That looks like a Jewish symbol.
I missed that.
I can't see it well enough, but I swear to God, it looks like the two flames and the one going across.
No. It's it's two letters. It's Het and Yud, which is H or CH and a Y. Both letters, like the Hebrew letters, have numbers attached to them. One is 8. The first one is 8, and the other one is 10. And it represents 18. If you ever heard the song Am Yisrael Chai, Chai is 18. It's a very powerful number in the Jewish faith.
So that's what he's wearing. Okay, cool.
Yes. That's that
answers your question for sure. He's Jewish.
It's a good luck charm, basically. It's a good luck charm.
Interesting.
Now, by the way, Martin, I said the other day that Gene Hackman was a typical Hollywood liberal. What I found out recently is that despite being liberal, he was very supportive of Ronald Reagan, which blows my mind.
I think quite a few people supported Ronald Reagan, but they were definitely Democrats. And then they actually supported Bill Clinton because they were disillusioned with what Bush was doing.
I was disillusioned in the military with him. Everybody I knew in the military refused to vote for him.
I get it.
Because of what he did. He didn't let us finish the job.
I know.
So, but this is, I just love this character. And he's sort of a nod to the great Hollywood B-movie producers, directors. I don't know what it is, man. I just love his character in this. Because it's sort of like a Castle, Roger Corman.
Yeah, that industry kind of evaporated in Hollywood, right? It became in the 90s the independent section, and then it kind of went away once the 2000s hit. You never hear too much
Even
about.
Though Corman continued producing all the way up to his death.
I know, but you never hear about the B movie industry, the straight to video, the straight to DVD.
It still exists. It still exists.
It still exists.
Talked about. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, okay.
It's still there, just not doing as much. I'm going to show a clip here because I really love this clip. It's 3 minutes, 32 seconds long, and it is an outtake from the film that I wish they had left in the film.
You got to be careful with those. I have.
If we get claimed, I'll remove it.
Okay. I had an outtake on last week's show, and it bothered me, and it was a deleted scene.
Yeah, this is a deleted scene.
Okay, I want to rehearse again, this time with full blood and the mutant. Okay? Larry, mutant Larry.
That's
More
Ben
fun from the
Stiller.
Tentacles. Really sell the tentacles, okay? And Jorge special effects. Where's Jorge from special effects? Okay. Excuse me, Scotty. Is my directing interfering with your conversation? Why is nobody listening to me, Scotty? Is this my set? Can people please try to concentrate and work with what we're doing here, okay? Can I just get some support?
Hey! How's anyone gonna see anything from way up there?
Hey, Harry. How you doing?
Hi, Chili. Hi. You're 50 feet up in the air.
Harry, we're gonna boom down real fast and get a subjective POV, okay?
So listen, Harry, I talked to Karen, and she said that she'd like to help you out.
Whose point of view?
What do you mean, whose point of view? It's the audience's point of view.
Boobala, come on down here. I want to talk to you, okay? So Karen's gonna talk to Martin?
Well, she said she was going to think about talking to Mom, but I need to get a copy of the script. You got the keys to the office?
Yeah. It's a red one. Take it off the ring.
All right, thanks. Good set.
Okay, we're gonna do another mutant rehearsal. This time I want to blow the front squib on Larry's behind, okay?
Hi.
How you doing?
Is your name Vicky Vespa?
Excuse me?
I asked you, is your name Vicky Vespa?
No.
Then get the fuck out of my chair.
Vicky Vespa, I see.
I'm gonna need a real good swoop on this one, Archie. Not the swishy thing we had last time. I want to swoop with balls.
I thought I told you to come down here. All these camera moves and weird angles are gonna distance us from the emotion of the scene.
Emotion? Girl just got stabbed in the ear with an ice pick.
Well, she's scared. Fear is an emotion. Look, kid, if you remember one thing about your time working with Harry Zim, let it be the 3 key words to filmmaking.
Okay, and what would those words be?
Pick and save.
What?
You heard me. Pick and save. Let me tell you a little story. Happened to me years ago when I was so broke, I had to go over to the Pick and Save on Vine Street to buy myself a lousy candy bar for dinner. I'm standing in line waiting to pay my 2 bits. Now over here, this lady, let's call her Mildred. She's telling the cashier about a movie. So Mildred says, I just saw the new Streisand picture. God, I loved it at the end when she brushed Robert Redford's hair off his forehead and the way they gave each other this look that says they still loved each other. That look was so romantic.
Right, okay. That's great. But is there a point to this?
What she did not say was, I love the way the director moved the fucking camera around to make me seasick. So leave the camera down here on the ground and shoot the fucking scene so we can see what's going on. Or I'll get somebody over 16 to shoot it for you. Your name Harry Zim?
I don't know, get the fuck out of your chair, right?
Double checks.
I know why they cut it.
It's
I
too
know
long.
exactly. No. I know exactly why they cut it. It undermines Chili's character. Chili would never, ever get out of that
point.
chair for the actress. That's number 1. Number 2, even if he was, he would never, ever get out of Harry Zim's chair. Zim is the beta. Chili's the alpha. It
That's
contradicts
right.
what you were trying to go for with Chili's character. It's gone.
Good point, Matt.
By the way, that is the last time you see Tony is in this phone call in the movie. But you're right. That's absolutely spot on. Good catch. By the way, I saw somebody else jumped in here. Vinkman's Girl. Hi, Vinkman's Girl. Gambit, absolutely, you are correct here. Sam Jackson was one of the actors that was up for the role of Bo. And yes, Steve Buscemi and Matthew McConaughey were considered for Ronnie. I'm going to tell you now, only Buscemi would have worked outside of who they got. I think Matthew would have been wrong for that role. And by the way, she looks better as her natural ginger color.
Never liked Rene Russo.
Man,
Physically.
you're the odd man out on the guys on this show.
I know. I don't care.
Oh, I'm with Meth.
All right, fuck both of you.
What are you, a traitor, Martin?
No, it's just her face was never attractive to me, and I'm big on if I'm attracted to a person of the female variety that is not my wife.
The female variety.
I would like to
like
see a specific face, and Rene Russo is not ugly. She's just not the face I'm looking.
I've always said she's good looking, but she has an oddly big chin that sticks out a lot.
I don't know.
And,
It's the composition. Let's just say.
But I
that.
like her. I think she's funny. She's
Okay.
got great chops. She's a good actor, and I like her eyes. And I also like the fact she's a natural ginger. Zito from Miami Vice. Remember the actor now? What are we talking about?
Don't know.
Rene Russo.
No, it's
Don't
something
know.
Gambit's talking about, and I'm not understanding it right now.
This actor.
Ferrero.
Martin Ferrero.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
My God, that jacket.
I
is
love it
so
when he goes
hideous.
to Hollywood. When she does not expect him to do what he's going to do. He fucking knocks the shit out of her, and she gives up all the information about Chile and everything. So yeah, it's everybody's ass now. I really want us to be friends. After he knocked the shit out of her. But it's going to be really hard if you aren't honest with me. And he's one of those hands-on gangsters. Likes to knock the shit out of people. A beef eater.
That's a gin.
It
And
is.
beef eater is also the guard that wears that.
I know.
uniform.
That's
Okay.
why it's the gin. The beef eater
When
guy.
you say
is
gin,
on
it
the
sounds
gin.
it sounds like you're saying gin, like in the ancient
It's a
era.
it's a London gin, and there's a picture of a beef eater, the guard at the palace.
I know
on
that.
it.
You don't have to explain it to me. I've drank it. It's just the way you said it sounded like the other kind of gin. Anyway,
Oh no.
Only to you, Gary.
Only you.
wait a minute. Did we go back in the movie? Why
No.
all of a sudden are we seeing him again?
Because he first contacts Harry and then he contacts Tommy.
Okay.
Ronnie.
Isn't it a flashback?
Nope.
Or he never mind. Okay.
I'm really I don't know why I'm thrown by this
Because you remember it as it is in the book.
Because it's after this that he talks to the Vegas guy that gives him Harry's name. That's why I'm really thrown by this.
Telling you, that's the way.
This is where he takes the money. Okay, this gets screwed up. This is screwed up because in the book, this thing happens earlier, and he takes that money, then he gambles it, and that leads him to the Vegas guy telling him about Harry Zim. So this is where I love this. He gets there, you're gonna get 25 bit, and then like Chili turns to look at him, and he goes running back inside his room because he knows he's talking to the wrong guy. Don't get tough with Chili.
In the movie, he never uses the money.
No, it's sort of like the backup. Now this scene's great because
That Roy.
yeah, he walks in there and finds Bo reading that script. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yes, Snort. Cow is tasty.
I wouldn't remember.
Ah.
It's been 30 years.
Sorry, guys. We have a fire
What?
that could impact this right now. So Lauren was letting me know about it.
Where?
The-
Where's that fire?
What a field over. There's I don't fucking know. I didn't go outside. I can only tell you what you told me. Jesus Christ. So there's a fire that's one field over to our right, and it could head this way. So we have to watch because it's high winds right now. We've been
I
under a
saw you
warning
have a fire
since
warning,
last
yeah.
night. Yeah, we have warnings. So
Jesus.
It's high noon.
if I end the show abruptly, you'll know why. So anyway,
It's fine. I can bullshit for another 20 minutes.
Come on.
Come on,
You
let's
should
go.
You should douse yourself in water, just in case.
you just want to see my tits through my shirt, motherfucker.
I cannot neither confirm nor deny that.
What's
And it's
wrong
funny,
with
he
you?
says the name Harvey Keitel right here. And ironically, that's who they get to play
Ray.
Ray Barboni.
Ray Barboni
Yeah.
at the end. I fucking love that. And of course, they got Penny Marshall to direct the film. In the
Of
movie.
course. Of course.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi would have been perfect as Ronnie. Absolutely. He's the only other actor I could see this other than Grease. Because I fucking love Grease, man. He's so funny. That scene where he comes into the door with Barboni with his foot on Gene Hackman's head. He says, because that guy there belongs to me. And he's standing there and he says, what do you got there? That WAP 9? That thing doesn't, it misshoots all the time. He goes, you must be one of those fast draws that you've got that pistol shoved way down in that belt. And he says, well, what do you got there? That WAP 9? Yeah, that thing, misfires all the time. And he goes, boom, 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 and just shoots him like multiple times, killing him.
That's the Fiat of guns.
The Fiat of guns. Fuck, that was funny. Yeah, fuck you, fuckball. In the movie he watches here, this is not in the book. This is not in the book. This is something that they created for the character for the film to show what a passionate lover of film he is when he's not like that in the book. He loves the business. He falls in love with the business is what he falls in love with. But I like that they did this change because this is one of my favorite films that we've wanted to do and we haven't done yet. It's the film where they got Charlton Heston to play a Mexican. And it's just like, it's weird, but goddamn it, it's a good movie.
Okay, I know this is an oxymoron, but I like the explicit implication that Hollywood is a mafia.
Oh, it
No.
is. It runs just like the mob. And I've said this. This is a complaint I have with the studios in that they do mob tactics of which they hide their books. And because all of that money that's made from video on demand, video sales, physical media, it doesn't matter. All of it is not considered part of the box office in the open books. And they keep that as a hidden book. And that's how Sony pulled that shit off with Men in Black, saying that it's a loss. It's not a loss. There would have not been as many sequels with good budgets if that were true. It's a fucking lie. And they still lie about it. Why? Because they don't have to show their books to everybody. And I consider it criminal. And yeah, I think they run business a lot like the mob. It's very organized. But you were going to say something, Mephisto. I'm sorry.
They run it like the mob, but they would like to think they're the mob, but they're not.
They're not. But I guarantee you, some people have used mob tactics, including violence and
for sure,
intimidation,
For sure.
blackmailing, all that shit.
Absolutely.
Look,
They have
when
pros
you're
that
rolling
work in the industry. If you see the movie The Player, that shows you what it is. They use blackmail to do a lot of things in Hollywood, and they have detectives that work for them, the studios, and absolutely find out shit.
And if they're really clever, they have one of those Diddy parties and make sure certain actors or actresses do certain things on camera that they don't normally do, whether it's under drugs or alcohol or whatever. And now what? And now what? We'll give you $2 million for your next movie, but you're gonna do whatever we tell you. I'm telling you, that's how they have Zendaya.
Now I love Yayo. Yayo is just such a great character in this movie, man. Because once he put it into, Bo puts it into Yayo's head that you see a bulge like that, that's a federal agent. So he starts seeing bulges everywhere on everyone.
Yes.
Like there's a kid and there's a woman, and it's just fucking funny. So he panics and goes through
because it comes from a true thing, but he got into his head because Yayo is not terribly smart.
Even his uncle says that.
Yeah.
He's kind of an idiot, but it's my sister's son, so where is he?
He doesn't have a
they
father.
Don't know. And what they find out here is, or what they hide from them, is that Bo kills him here for showing up at his house, not knowing that he's Mr. Escobar's nephew.
No, he kills him because he threatens him. He said,
I know, but he wouldn't have done it if he knew he was Escobar's nephew, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
If he had known that, he would not have done it.
Probably not.
Because he finds out when Escobar shows up, nephew, and he goes, nephew.
Oh.
He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And also, this is the foreshadowing for how the movie ends, because this is where Bear talks to him about, or Bo says to Bear, we ought to do that thing where you take the screws out and somebody goes over the edge, foreshadowing how the movie ends.
Yep.
Also, one of the funniest moments in the film where she doesn't know Bear and Chili are working together, and she takes a shot at Bear. And then she goes, oh, and she puts the gun down. Like, I'm sorry. There it is. He's talking about it right here. That's foreshadowing. I love Barry Sonnenfeld. I don't care. So, I loved his Addams Family movies. I love them.
I don't like any of them. Sorry.
I like Addams Family. I did. I thought it was.
I like the original series. I'm done. Yeah, I didn't need the movie.
The TV series was its own thing because they didn't. All the things that the TV series created is what we base everything on now, because the cartoons didn't explain who anybody was. We knew some names, but we didn't know all names, and we didn't know their relationships, and that was all created for the TV show, and that's why that show is so innovative. But then the film absolutely takes from the TV series. This is Nikki, and at first when I heard her talking, I thought that was Courtney Cox. I'm like, is that Courtney Cox?
No, I don't even know what her name is. I'll
the one that played her? That's Rene Props.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know who she is. Hardly anybody knows who the hell she is. She's been in a lot of stuff, man. She's in like one of my favorite films of all time, Weird Science.
Hey, Mike, jumping here.
He was in the movie The Pompatus of Love, which I really like too.
I'm looking at her like IMDb page. She's been on and off and on and off. It's mostly TV, but it's kind of mixed.
I think the IMDb page says something really funny, that the minute I read it, all I could hear is the song King Tut by Steve Martin. She was born in Oklahoma, raised in Arizona, King Tut.
Oh, I don't look at that. It goes straight to like what has she done between like acting, producing, writing.
She's really a small part character, usually
yeah.
side character. She doesn't really get to play very big roles. This is probably the biggest thing she's ever done. It's
probably. It's the biggest thing she's ever done, and yet she's got like hairy pits. It's like, why?
Yeah, that wasn't real, by the way. Those are fake.
Yeah, I know. But it's
They were
like
just showing
because Martin loves Yeah, because Martin is now on this thing about like natural women or something. That was the excuse. And I was
Yeah,
like,
and
it's
he's got this
typical-
fixation with telling Rene Russo how good she smells. He does it twice in the film. You smell
It's-
great.
I don't know who Martin Weir is modeled after, but it's what
I
supposedly.
heard rumors.
Nobody in particular.
I
Yeah,
heard
That in the
rumors
interview.
that it was kind of Tom Cruise because he's short.
I never
Oh.
heard Tom Cruise. I never heard about Tom Cruise. I've heard about Dustin Hoffman,
Also
but
a
not
good
really Dustin Hoffman. Maybe that's where the Tom Cruise thing came out. I don't know.
Well, it also might explain his pretentious nature because Dustin, is great a guy as I've heard he can be, is a pretentious actor and really kind of a pain sometimes about it.
But
It led
it's
to some great stuff because he and Tom Cruise worked in a film together.
yeah, that's what I
and
said. But maybe
One's a
maybe
method
that's-
actor, the other one isn't, and they clashed. But what ended up being funny is, and the director loved this, is that clash led to some of the best stuff you see in the film because they improvised a lot.
Anyway, it's not technically just modeled after Dustin Hoffman. It could be just facets of his
Same thing with
character.
Tom Cruise.
In
But
that
I've
interview
also
that I
heard-
watched, he was asked that question: did you model Martin after any particular actor? And he said no. He just took some really obnoxious traits that actors tend to have and put them in one person.
Danny DeVito will never admit to what
Not
what
DeVito,
character
the
really is.
author. No, the
Like I
author.
said,
Oh,
the
we're
author.
talking about the movie. We're talking about the movie now.
Well, he made the character, and they
No.
Leonard.
The way
Hackman.
Danny DeVito played Martin Weir is a facet of Dustin Hoffman with an amalgamation of actually Marlon Brando, just because of how pretentious he is. That the pretentious nature of him, and the fact that he's talking about, he's really excited about this role that he's just heard, right? And then he tries to become that role without actually, he hasn't been cast to the movie. The movie hasn't been actually written, but yeah.
This we talked about this, Gambit, and it's not just that. Mephisto nailed it. It couldn't be in the film because it goes against character. It goes against Chili's character, and it isn't consistent with Chili's character. That scene, as good as it is, and I love that scene, it just doesn't work. And it's good that they didn't put it in the film because it goes against Chili Palmer's character. Now, this is the scene that I fucking loved, and it's in the trailer too. A clip of it is in the original trailer.
Yeah, when he chucks him out down the stairs.
Yep. You're a stuntman, huh? And he goes, was that a stuntman? He grabs him by the crotch and throws him down the stairs. I fucking love that. And then he turns to her character and says, he was a stuntman. And Marlon Brando really is a pretentious prick. And
yeah, he always was.
And you hear that from other method actors too. They're like, he was beyond the method. He was annoying.
The best research we've done was on the island of Dr. Moreau, and it's sort of like it's not just Marlon Brando. It's not just Marlon Brando. It's Marlon Brando on steroids plus Val Kilmer on steroids, as in their behavior on steroids.
Because they were going at each other, and it just escalated to a nuclear war. But we need to do that film because I really do love talking about that movie and that documentary about the making.
I have not seen the documentary. I've only.
Dude, you have to see it because the director that got fired stayed on the fucking island.
Yeah,
disguised himself and ended up as extras in the movie.
I know. It was the craziest thing I've ever heard about a movie. It's so insane. At one point, he went into the costume area and got makeup as one of the animal hybrids on the island just to hide its face. And I was like, that is so malevolent and evil until you hear the
just so
actual
bizarre.
people
Talking.
who he
Yeah.
was spying against. It was so crazy.
Because it was an insane production. It really
Oh,
was.
yeah.
And they did him wrong. They did him wrong. It wasn't his fault. What
No,
happened.
no.
It absolutely falls at the feet of Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando and their fucking behavior. And they really were. And that's when it started with Val Kilmer, by the way. That's when all the rumors, because it was after that movie, he started having a bad reputation, including because I know personal stories because I work for the guy that is the second unit director for Alexander. And so I heard some of his behavior on that set firsthand. And I'm like, I hated hearing that because I am such a fan of his, Val Kilmer's. But anyway, let's get back to this. I love Gandolfini in this role. And it's because of this film I became a fan of his. So when they did The Sopranos, I was like, fuck, that's Bear. He's the star. Fuck yeah. Great fucking actor. And Delroy Lindo is so menacing in this, even though Chili doesn't let on a bit. There's no threat from you. I feel no threat from you. You know, and this is where he walks in and he spots him like, oh shit, let me handle this. Let me handle this. And she's not looking at them. She's looking at Chili. You notice that?
Yep.
She wants to know what he's getting ready to do. Any good? Am I good? He turns and looks at her. And he makes that mistake when he looks away and gets grabbed by the crotch and thrown down the stairs. He took that fall pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make you a deal. If you can get out of here before I take my jacket off, I won't wipe the floor with you. What a great line. You think you know me. You don't know me. And he's incorrect because absolutely Chili knows this guy inside and out. He knows his type. And this is where they let out that Martin Weir is involved. And the other thing I love is that Zim used to have a writing partner, who died. And it isn't until we're moving closer to the third act you finally meet that guy's wife, played by Bette Midler. And she's fucking good in this role. Because I don't like Bette Midler, but I enjoyed her in this movie. And he reminds him Bo did invest in 3 of his films.
Yeah, well, that's sort of symbolizing the connection of the money laundering from actual criminals into the Hollywood system. And they will take any money you would give them. So,
and some gangsters, they'll get angry if you give them like stolen money. They don't want that. They don't want stolen money because it's not been laundered. They want it clean.
Yeah, well, the box office is the cleaning mechanism. You invest money, you spend it, and when you earn money, you actually earn clean money.
Yep.
So,
oh, he said he acts tough there with Chili by dropping the keys in the drink. What a fucking Harry gets what he deserves here, you know, because he's already made the tough guy phone call to. No, he hasn't done it yet. Has he done it yet? The phone call?
I think it's to Barboni because he wants to get rid of Chili, but he gets
not to do it. He says, you don't want to talk to him. You don't want to involve those people. And he warns him. He warns him, you don't want to involve Barboni and his money.
Because he doesn't know Barboni. He doesn't understand that Chili is the chiller of the two. Right. Barboni doesn't care about the movies at all. Chili does. And I think he says it to Harry later on. It's like, he doesn't care about movies. I do.
He did say that. He did say that when he warns him. And she's wanting to bang is what she wants. And it's pissing him off because she has all the rights right now to that one script, Lovejoy. She has
Mhm.
control of it. And she says, and I'm not going to give that to you, but I could leave or I could stay if you want. And he's like, oh, fuck it, stay.
I think also, if I'm not mistaken, the Lovejoy script is it's a code name for a script that was circulating in Hollywood that is supposedly like the next Casablanca or the next, I don't know, Citizen Kane.
Right.
And nobody wants to make it because it's just too good, but they don't want to do it a disservice. I heard about it somewhere. It doesn't actually is called Lovejoy. It's called something else, but it's a code name for that script that is like the next like major, like big 13, 15 Oscars kind of a thing. If you can do it right, but nobody wants to do it because you might fuck it up.
Or, because like who wants to make the next Casablanca or the next Citizen Kane? People are really afraid of those kinds of films because that, nobody wants to make their magnum opus at the beginning of their career.
Well, tell that to Spielberg. Jaws. Like,
yeah, and oddly, the two men that have probably more accountability for the quality of that film that are unsung heroes are Zanuck and Brown, because they babysat Spielberg. They were told to babysit Spielberg because the studio was nervous.
Oh yeah,
with him
for
to
sure.
help. And so Zanuck and Brown were there for almost every day of shooting. And a lot of people don't know that. If you watch the documentary, the 2.5 hour one,
Tom made me watch it.
Oh, it's a good documentary, though. It really gets you in there. The one thing that I was unaware of for years is that the shark supposedly got broken because George Lucas showed up on set, and Spielberg went in there to show off. It may be apocryphal. I don't know. But this is a rumor.
It's a part of that documentary. They mention it because
That
whoever
he
did
got
the
in the
documentary doesn't actually like George Lucas, apparently. Yes.
So he climbed into the jaw
And
of
it
the
did
shark
happen.
and broke it.
It did happen, but it's sort of like never mind. We'll.
I just think it's funny that
I
that
know.
George Lucas may have been accountable for why the shark never worked, but made it a better film because of it.
It's one of those things where we
I
cover
love these duty-free stores in the airport for looking for magazines and shit.
why.
I don't know why, because they usually have cool magazines, a lot of sci-fi magazines and shit.
Used
Yeah,
to.
but everything is overpriced.
Well, I haven't flown since for a long time. I think last time I flew was in
Let me break it down for you. You don't see
2012.
many magazines anymore.
You really don't. And having flown last year, yeah, shit is crazy expensive in airports.
Yes. You know what's crazy? JFK, or at least parts of JFK, don't have a lot of food service past 9 p.m. That's weird. Like the McDonald's is good, but not good, but active. But the rest of it is pretty dead after 9 p.m.
Because waiters and staff get more expensive after a certain hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an airport.
Doesn't matter.
24/7.
Doesn't matter. They don't want
What's
to
this?
spend that
I
kind
saw
of
an Omni
money.
magazine on the shelf. Is that still around? Omni? No, it went away a long time ago.
No way.
Sadly, it was one of my favorite science magazines. Omni had good stuff in it. But because this scene is one of my favorite moments in the film, showing how fucking smart Tilly Palmer is. Because he goes in there and he's watching what's going on. He decides to get a second locker right next to it. Gets a guy to go over there, because if he goes there twice, they'll notice. So he sends a different guy over there to buy, get the key to the locker. Then he walks over there and acts like he's going to put it into their locker, and then slips over and opens his locker, grabs the LA Lakers bag or whatever that was, and just showing how fucking clever this character is.
Yeah, and he recognizes the bulge as well, but he knows who to look at and where to find them.
Yeah, not everywhere like the kid did.
Rather than just looking around, is like looking everywhere at some kid or whatever.
He's also used to doing this, so he's not nervous. The kid is freaking out.
Yeah.
Was at this point. He has routine.
By the way, I think Anima's happy because I'm showing my gray streak today. I don't know why she likes my gray streak.
Gary Le Pew.
Yeah, I'm Pepe Le Pew. That's right. Gary Le Pew.
I actually wrote a story once where the lead, the hero, because it was Middle Ages like ish, and the hero had black hair with a white streak. So maybe
the transition in the airport is pretty smooth from where they take Chili away to the interrogation room, and when they clear out the scene, you see the Escobar and the two bodyguards surrounding him enter the scene, and you're like, oh, and you can feel it in the score. The score kind of tells you, oh, okay, we're switching gears, and then it moves on to the interrogation room.
I like this part here because he just comes up with this story on the fly, making up a wife story, left me, all that shit. And they said, well, I guess we'll try that. He goes, well, good. Maybe you should, because next time you won't get the wrong guy.
Yeah, he says he has a gift for his wife that he needed to hide to surprise her. Pretty clever story.
Yeah. So you saw the Alien ad in there. Oh, okay, cool. The first time I saw an ad for it wasn't in print. The first time I'd seen anything about it was in, I think it was Fangoria. I'm not sure if Fangoria existed then, but it was definitely Starlog. And it was like almost a year before it came out. And we got wind of it through Starlog. But the first commercial for Alien scared the shit out of me. And they did something interesting a lot of people don't understand, catch, is the musical cues in the original trailer. Wow! Sound, like a choir. Doing that is actually just a choral version of the sound of the camera that was used in the trailer for the original. What was that slasher film with the Chainsaw Massacre?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, the original trailer for that had that weird Polaroid sound, and it used strings to do it. You hear the flash of the camera and then a violin, and they just created another version of it for Alien, and that's why that works. I love the Alien thing because the Alien trailer scared the shit out of me. It was 13 when I fucking saw that trailer, or 14 when I saw that trailer. This is a great scene with Bear again, because Bear's got to get tough with him again, and Chili's like, you're not going to get it. And he makes a move, and he fucking knocks the wind out of him. Takes him to the ground and holds his belt up for him, lifting his back a little bit to help him breathe. And he goes, why are you working for that guy?
Yes, he ended recruiting him.
And he recruits him. And I love the way Chili works, man. He's a smooth operator, man. And he's just like, man, you've done some movies. What's some of the movies you worked on, man? And you don't know him. And then he gets him to tell him the movie. I love it. He's working this guy, but he's not working him. He's being genuine with him because he likes him.
Yep. He generally likes him.
Chili is because Chili is a guy that actually gives a shit about people. At least in the movie. I got that feeling from the book, too, that he genuinely cared. He asked him right there, you okay? Not too bad.
He kind of, what's crazy? Bear and can't remember the name of the character.
Which
In
character?
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh,
The character of Vinnie Jones with the kid.
right.
Right? It's
Yep.
similar. So it's a tough guy with a young
Trying to
child.
teach a younger guy. Yeah.
And he does bad things, but it's in service of the a gangster.
Yep.
But when left on its own, he's a pretty sweet guy. He has this tough demeanor, but he's pretty fair individual. He's not bad. He does just bad things. That's it.
Yep. And again, I want to point out that Guy Ritchie discovered both of those guys, Vinnie Jones and Jason Statham. And what people don't know is that Vinnie Jones and Jason Statham have been best mates since they were kids.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Vinny got him into playing soccer when they were in primary school. True story.
I thought Jason was a karate kid.
No,
no pun intended.
No.
He was a karate dude.
Yeah, he does martial arts, but that's not what he was known for. He was an Olympic level swimmer for Britain.
He
on
yeah,
their teams.
right.
And he just failed to go to two. He failed the teams twice, and he said it's his greatest regret. But no, he goes back to childhood with Vinnie Jones. They've known each other, and they still are. They're still best mates. I'd love to see them do a movie together again. I just like the two of them. Vinny went on to be a professional footballer. And in fact, when Vinny did the remake of the football movie, American football, the American film, the remake. Mean Machine is a remake of The Longest Yard. And his character is known as Mean Machine. And so they made their version of it, and he went to Jason Statham to play the psycho. That's held in what do you call it, solitary confinement in the movie because he's so dangerous. And I thought that was great that he got him to play that part. Look at me. Here we go. He's like half asleep and he's doing this. Look at me. He goes, what the fuck did you say to me? Look at me. And this is where he just starts beating the fucking shit out of him.
Destroys his face, his body, everything.
Broke his fingers. Which is why he eventually was let off of the shooting, because there's no way with broken fingers he could pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But
he breaks his arms, not just the fingers.
He broke his fingers.
The fingers.
That's important because he couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And also he broke his jaw so much
And
Harry had to drink out of a straw.
Yeah.
That scene in the hospital is so funny when you just see his feet under the curtain.
Yeah, the feet go up and he says, if somebody would have helped me
wiring his jaw.
Yeah, would somebody help me reposition his jaw so we can wire it? And you see his feet go up. Like you can tell it was painful. Oh, here it is. I love this. He's got the pistol in his hand, man. The wrong thing to do is to walk in without a gun in your hand if you're going to get threatening. He must be one of those quick draw artists that can pull the pistol out of his belt that way down in a belt like that. I fucking love this scene. I also love the line, I hear it's the fucking smog that makes your fucking sky so fucking beautiful.
The sunsets.
I would like to do that film sometime. I do like that movie. I'm not a big De Niro fan, but I do like that movie. I do love it that when he looks away for a second, you see Gene Hackman pointing the pistol at his groin. And he goes, knock it off, Harry. He knew he couldn't pull the trigger. And then when he gets him to pull the trigger, he's like, don't throw up on my shoe. Just got these shoes. This is a good scene. This is where their relationship goes to the next level.
Yep.
And I like that he chose to do it in silhouette.
They do movie talk like we do movie talk, just face to face.
Yeah, face to face. By the way, that's a great one up there. Dennis got his first shot at acting in Michael Mann's Thief. And once he got the taste of it, because he was a Chicago cop, a real Chicago cop. And he got a taste for it, and he tried out for other things, and he ended up getting a really good show. I just forgot the name of it. It takes place in the 60s in Chicago, and he plays the lead detective going after a mobster.
Weird, because then he played a New York detective in Law and Order. Way down the line.
I'm trying to remember. Chicago Story just came to my mind. There it goes. Deep Drawer. Chicago Story was the name of that cop show that he was in. Oh, you got it too. Thank you. Was it Crime Story or Chicago Story?
Let me check.
Okay, I'll trust him. Gambit probably Googled it. And absolutely, he was a hit. And the last big thing he did was, of course, he took over what's it called? Unexplained Mysteries, or whatever that show was called. Unsolved Mysteries. That was it. And I think he did that all the way up till he died, was it? He died in 2013, right? Yeah, there's the foot scene. The foot goes up. Now that right there looks like something that Roger Corman would have done, that photo.
It could have been even a homage to a Roger Corman picture
I
from
think it is,
like
personally.
the 70s or the 80s. Because a lot of the stuff here is familiar to you, but you don't know from where. And if you said that, like you said, Barry Sonnenfeld is the guy that kind of like was in love with the Hollywood stuff. I told you this whole movie is like a love letter to Hollywood.
Absolutely.
It makes sense that he has seen a picture like that and had Gene Hackman do the same equivalent picture. This replaced Gene Hackman with whoever it is. Like, let's say it was a Jim Henson guy.
Just let you know, there were two romantic films about movie making made in the 90s. This was one, and the other one is The Player by Robert Altman.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are love stories or love letters to Hollywood, old Hollywood.
Yeah. But The Player doesn't have a lot of these quippets, or does it? I have to rewatch it.
Go back and watch it. It's got some funny stuff in there. My favorite thing about that movie, it too makes a reference to the Orson Welles film, because they're talking about it in the opening scene. And what they're talking about is how they pulled off I think it was a 10-minute shot, a long 10-minute shot, one crane camera, did all of it over a period of this one scene, did a full reel. And they did the exact same thing. While talking about the movie, they do the exact same thing within the movie. They do one take of them talking about that movie. I fucking love The Player. I love The Player. Again, it's a love letter to old movies. And I think there's some funny shit in it. You should watch it again. It's not as quippy as this movie, but it has some funny shit in it.
That's what I remember. It's not the same kind of movie. Yeah, but when I mean quips and little snippets, it's the little things. By the way, that whole canyon is burned down to the ground.
I know, isn't that just fucking awful?
This is one of the canyons that got burned down to the ground.
Guys,
it's fucking tragic.
I need to roll a video here. So here we go.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
So what we need to do is put limits on how many suggestions Tim's allowed to give. I actually like that movie, Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. that is one of the best films with what is his name? It was in Blue Thunder. Fuck. Did 2 Jack Nicholson movies back in the 60s. Did westerns. Great tough guy. Anyway, I have nobody to help me on that one.
Jesus Christ.
War Notes. Thank you. War Notes. Thank you, Gambit. Great fucking movie. Yeah, and War Notes is the actor I'm talking about. He is so good in that fucking movie. That shootout. Ugh.
Do you want to know how much
On the ground.
Hugh Jackman got for reprising his role? $50 million.
That's an entire movie budget.
Holy shit.
They rolled
shoot a
out the
really good
dump
movie
truck
for
on
$50
that
million.
boy. just do Wolverine again. We'll pay you. How much? $50 million. Disney can afford it. Go ahead.
Blue Thunder was War Notes' last movie. He didn't even see it released, as I recall. I think he died before it got released. Fucking shame. Smoking, man. That and heart disease. Because he got heart disease from smoking. He was a 2-pack a day smoker. He was also really good with Pierce Brosnan in the remake of the Steve McQueen art heist film. I forget the name of it, but it's really good. And in the original film, they had a jazzy version of "Windmills of My Mind" or "Your Mind," and then Sting did the new version of the song for the movie. They kept it as the song for the movie.
Okay, this scene where Martin Weir is ordering off the menu, where Rene Russo's character tells Chili that, look, he's going to order off the menu. Just watch out for that. This whole scene, I thought this was a complete bullshit back in the day. However, there's a very famous stand-up moment that Dave Chappelle does. He talks about sitting at one of these Hollywood restaurants and somebody ordering off the menu, and it was a pretentious producer, not an actor.
Imagine that.
Producer. And I was like, oh my God, this is like Get Shorty. I remember this scene. I've got it in my head. And yeah, he kind of confirmed that, yeah, there are some pretentious people in Hollywood that sit around and they don't eat, but they love to order off the menu.
Off the menu. And then the worst part is he orders off the menu and then leaves before his food even gets there.
Yes. Because he's so busy.
And important.
Yeah.
And important. Yep. I am that Shylock. And I love at the end where they decide to fire him.
Yes. Because he's not right for the part.
Not right. And he says he's too short. Or he's short. That was it. He's short. Which is kind of, I guess, a gag on Danny DeVito because he originally was going to play Chili Palmer.
He smells her again.
Yeah,
and then he wants
and
then he wants to kiss her. And then he wants to kiss her. And
on the mouth, she turns.
She
turns away.
Yeah, she turns. It's like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, who could imagine that happening in a world?
Apparently some are and some aren't. And it's so weird. The some aren't are not getting too many roles.
Yeah, in fact, you know, one of my, I got to tell you, I have a lot of friends that are actors and filmmakers out in Hollywood. And the only reason they're friends is because they're not like that. And Matthew Marsden is one of them. I love talking to him. And we're going to get him. I've talked to him recently again. Got to get you on the show. Yes, I got to find the right film to have him come on the show for. And
Black Hawk Down?
Movie with him.
Black Hawk Down?
I'm sorry, Black Hawk Down? Is that a porno?
I am not Keith.
Are you sure? You sound like him right now when you said Blackhawk. Okay, Martin's not talking anymore. He's mad.
Do you want a different one? I can give you this.
Okay, here's the echoing scene. This is just
Yes.
like in the opening scene, but they flip it because he's on the other side of the bed. But it's the same scene, and I fucking love the way they did that.
But the difference is Chili is the one who's taking charge. She wakes him up, but he's not like Harry, where it's like, no, I don't want to, just leave it alone. Chili's like, no, this is going down.
Yep. So he goes down there and they're watching El Dorado.
Yeah.
And I love this. And right when the gunshot stops, he jumps up to watch that again. And then Bo makes his presence known.
And then they have a weird conversation about El Dorado and Rio Bravo and Rio Grande. And I was like, really?
It shows that Bo is a movie fan too. And I kind of like that they both know their movies. And, but
because
Bo's getting deadly serious here because he knows he's in trouble. That if he doesn't get that money to Mr.
Appease Escobar. Yeah.
Escobar, that he's dead. Because he can't get him his nephew back because he fucking murdered his nephew. But he's got to get him that fucking money. Wonderland Avenue, by the way. The Wonderland murders. Did you see that movie with Val Kilmer?
No.
He played John Holmes, the porn actor, if you can call him.
Oh.
Porn star. The guy with the 10-inch dick. And
yeah, I know who John Holmes is.
Okay. So
I have seen Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights is loosely about that.
Loosely based, yes.
Loosely based on. But this movie, Wonderland Murders, is really good. Val Kilmer as John Holmes. Good fucking movie. We need to cover that movie sometime because I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, find a copy.
I will.
There was a competition, it seemed, between Johnny Depp and Val Kilmer in the 90s going to the 2000s as far as who was going to do the most biopics. Johnny Depp won because Johnny Depp just did far more biopics. But Val was in the running with The Doors and all that shit. And he's good. Got to tell you, every fucking biopic he's in, he's good. Now, what he doesn't know here is that Bear is working with Chili at this point.
Yeah, at this point. Because
he was actually working for him when he came to the house the last time and he got menacing with his daughter.
Yeah. The moment where Bear flips is the moment in that parking lot. You just don't see it. You just don't see it. But if you look at if you rewatch it knowing what you know, you're like, okay, this is the moment where Chili kind of gets attacked, gets jumped, but not really, manhandles Bear, and then because of their talk, that's where the turn happens.
You know where it was heading because he was going to tell him, you should work for me. I would treat you right. I would treat you with respect. You know where it's going. By the way, Sander Hammerslag is here. What's up, buddy? Who else dropped in here? Tim, of course. And Mike's not going to join us. I'm drawing.
No, he rated us after his show.
I know, but he should join us. They should jump in here, hang out with us. I miss Mike when he's not here.
Oh, I'm sure he's.
It's like Mephisto.
I
I would love to have Mephisto like on every show. I have such a good time with this asshole. Oh, tell him I called him that though.
Okay, no problem. I won't.
No problem. Don't tell Mephisto.
No.
I love the whole gag too with the Odyssey is the Cadillac of minivans, and Martin Weir buys one. He shows up in it at that lunch. That was so fucking funny.
At the end, like half the people on that movie production have that Odyssey, and it's so weird that it later appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine. It's
I don't
really
think that's-
weird.
I don't think that's weird at all. It had to have been for a reason because Ryan Reynolds is a big movie fan.
Yes, but Get Shorty is so obscure when it comes to like in the grand scheme of things. If either it came from Sean Levy or it came from Ryan himself, I don't know. But it
One of
seems
them is a
odd.
deep diver of movies.
It seems so odd that it was that, and they mentioned that specifically.
So you took the poor bastard's money and you put it in a locker ready to go.
Yep.
He's absolutely fucking selling it to him.
He's working him a lot.
Chili Palmer, by the end of the book and then by the end of the movie, you realize he's the smartest motherfucker in the room.
Oh, yeah. And it's all about listening to people and understanding their motivations for him.
Reading them, really.
Yeah. And he's playing them off. Like he played off the FBI agents. He played off Harry, played everyone. Bo.
Tim, just to let you know, he did not just straight porn. He would do a lot of other kinds of porn for money. And because he was hurting for money because he had a drug habit. And some say that he could have gotten it from some of the porn he was making, the side porn that he was making, or he may have gotten it from intravenous drugs. It's one or the other. But yeah, he got HIV, which became full-blown AIDS, and he was one of the early guys to die from it in the 80s.
But he was a cocaine head, right? He's not a heroin addict.
I don't know. I know that he did a lot of coke, but the fact is I wouldn't be surprised if he also did heroin. You could look it up. I don't know, but it's one or the other. He either got it from doing the side porn that he was doing, because there are guys that were in those movies that were already dirty and didn't know it because they weren't testing.
Yeah, there was a guy. He came way later that he was infected. He knew about it and he didn't tell anybody. And he also did, and he straight guy, didn't do any gay porn at all. And he was doing a lot of anal work with women, and that is like the surefire
There's
way
going to be an exchange of
infecting people is anal work. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a good way to pass it and it's a good way to catch it. This is the transition right here. It goes from movie to movie within a movie.
Yes. I love this transition. I love it.
Yeah, because that's when it cuts to his head, that's Harvey Keitel's head at the locker.
Yeah. And it's Martin Weir as Chili.
As Chili Palmer, which is basically what this movie would have been if he'd played Chili Palmer like he'd wanted to. And I love that he's fine making fun of himself in this. Because I love that he goes to squeeze the trigger and instead he pushes the release button on the fucking magazine.
Yeah, and it falls apart.
And so Harry Zim's like, that's it. That's a wrap. We'll come back and do this tomorrow. And clearly they have a relationship now. He and she.
Yeah.
One thing that made me sad is that Tommy's not in the scene, because I thought he should bring Tommy into Hollywood because they were such good friends back in Miami. I would have loved to have seen that. But they go out there and there's the Odyssey.
And then when they drive off, everybody else has the Odyssey. Not everybody, but a lot of people have the Odyssey.
Penny Marshall has an Odyssey. Martin's got one. Martin Weir, Penny Marshall. Yeah. Everybody drives a fucking black Odyssey. It's great. But I love that they end there as they're walking out. He goes, maybe we should look at another actor for this character. This isn't working. He goes, what do you think the main problem is with him? Short.
Yeah, too short. Yeah, and he gets up and leaves.
As close as you get to getting the title of the film in the movie, because the movie is called Get Shorty, and Shorty is Martin Weir. You mean John Doe Mephisto? What the fuck?
What?
He killed himself after infecting several actresses. John Doe.
I definitely didn't. Oh, he means. Oh, you mean John Doe? No, I don't remember the name
Matt,
of
just
the
go
act-
ahead. You can pause and go over there and look in your porn collection and see.
Sure, no problem.
So I think you're right, Tim and Sandra. I think it is John Doe. I'm gonna go look it up real quick because that name really rings a bell.
It says Darren James, but I've never heard about that. Never heard that name before. I haven't. I know his face. If you have a picture of him, I know his face. But
here I'll show you. Present screen. There is the guy. I wish it would stop doing it where it sent you to the other window.
No.
Okay, not him. All right. Not him, guys. False alarm. What did you think it was?
It says Darren James. I just did a quick Google search, and in terms of age, it kind of fits, but I've never heard about the name, and there's no picture of him, so I don't know. And when I do like images, it gives me an image of a black dude. He's not a black dude. He's a white dude. Doesn't matter.
And then it also has James Darren, who is not the guy you're talking about.
No.
James Darren was a singer-actor.
No. James Darren is Vic Fontaine.
I'm looking in. Yeah, there's no picture of this guy.
No. I don't have a porn collection. If I do a deep research, I'll find the picture of the guy.
If you have the internet, you have all the collection you need.
Yeah. He's like in the late 80s, early 90s porn actor. That's what I remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That doesn't really concern anything. It really has nothing to do with Get Shorty. It was just about the Wonderland.
And I highly recommend watching that film. I think you'll like it. It's a biopic. It gets into the nuts and bolts of that fucking murder, and it was gruesome. And the question everybody is left with to this day: did John Holmes take part in killing those people? Because he said no.
I've seen the documentary about John Holmes's life. It's about almost 2 hours, and they touch upon the murders at the very end of the movie, but after the murders, he died shortly thereafter, a year, 2 years after the murders. And he was a suspect, but then I think the FBI kind of cleared him because the local cops thought for sure it was him.
He was a CI for the FBI. That's something that they should have mentioned in the documentary, is that that's why they cleared him. That doesn't mean he didn't do it.
Oh yeah, the cops
cleared him.
He definitely did, and the FBI cleared him, and that was in the documentary. Right? They didn't go into any conspiracy theories and all that.
It is my problem with the FBI that they do shit like that. That they run slipshod over law enforcement and let guys get away with crimes because they're confidential informers.
Oh, then you really, if you really hate that, then you really should not listen to the Joe Rogan, Elon Musk latest.
Oh, dude, no, I caught part of it and I'm loving it. Wait a minute.
$12 billion on submarines that none of them were built.
Now, Tori Wells, actually, she helped bring a little bit of class back to porn, because she wanted to do the higher end pornography. And once she retired from acting, when she hit her 40s, she became a director, and she produces woman driven porn movies. And doesn't mean they're not naughty as fuck. They're just films from the female perspective of what they like in their pornography. And so, but she was like, I've never figured her nationality out because she looks Persian to me, Tori Wells. But she was really big in the late 80s, all the way into the late 90s, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing she ever did, and it won the, I forget the name of the Adult Film Award. Adult Video Awards? Is that AVA? Is that it?
AVN.
AVN. Okay. What does the N stand for? Adult Video.
Adult Video Network?
I don't know. Anyway, AVN, if that's it. I do know that her movie Night Trips was like a hit back in the 90s. I've seen it. It was okay. It was done in like almost black and white, and it's weird.
I found the name of the guy.
What was it?
Mark Wallace.
Woo, that almost sounded like you're going to see Mark Wahlberg. Like
there's an article about Mark Wahlberg attached to it, but
that's funny because he had that prosthetic penis that he put on and whips out in the movie. And
yeah, but that's a John Holmes reference.
On it, I know, but when he thumps that fucking desktop tabletop with his pecker, I laughed so fucking hard. That was so.
Do you remember I talked to you about the I haven't seen the pie scene in American Pie because it wasn't in theaters. That scene with the penis was in the theater I saw it in, and I was like, ooh.
Wonder why they even though that's not his real penis and all of that. I'm surprised.
No, they left that in, and I was like, interesting how that left this in.
But not the pie fucking scene, and you don't really see anything.
No, you see
his back at first, and then his dad comes in. You see his naked ass, and he turns around, and he's basically got a pie over his dick, and that's it.
Yes,
that's all you see. And he's like, "I don't know how I'm going to explain this to your mother."
Yes, it's a great scene, and it's the whole point of the American Pie. Otherwise, it doesn't make
the title
any sense.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense until you know. And I don't even want to get into it because, like, when I was in college, I had this one guy said, "Man, the best thing I ever had, I had a cantaloupe and I heated it up in the oven for about 20 minutes at 200 degrees, man." He says, "I cut a big old hole in that thing. Oh, it felt so real." And I'm like, "You're fucking weird." One, for telling me that, and two, for having done that. And the first thing I asked is, "Please don't tell me you ate it after you're done." He goes, "Oh, fuck no." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." That saved it from getting too weird for me.
Special sauce.
Now, my favorite thing, comedy about Gene Hackman was on South Park when Christopher Reeve, before he died, was the villain in the story because they're using babies to feed on, because it was based on the fact that they were farming what do you call it, the formative DNA. Help me out here.
And adrenochrome,
but it's called something else. And anyway, they were saying that it's best to get from a child, but they proved later that's a lie, that you can get it from anybody. Get those cells, and you'll be able to possibly
stem cells.
Stem cells, thank you. Stem cells that you could get. They were saying stem cells from infants are the best, and this is where concerns came in that they'll start farming dead babies, and so the push towards the whole argument for abortion. Not saying what side I'm on this. That was one of them that if they are farming these babies for this, there's a crime there. And I agree with them. There's a crime there. Shouldn't be doing that. But so what they found out is that stem cells actually from anybody work. And so they continued the stem cell research. In fact, Michael J. Fox still continues to push for stem cell research for Parkinson's as well as for spinal injuries, because they got close. He got close with Christopher Reeve over their similar problems.
They have a clinic in Panama. This American doctor that he proves or was working on stem cells from fetuses, but he said they have a process where they don't need like live
They can take it-
donors
right.
or like fetus donors. But
Yeah,
it's
they can
still
take
not
it from.
it's still not approved in the US just because of the methods he used to get
Well,
to
it's
that.
the moral
get to
aspect
that.
of it that's going to be a
Yeah.
problem. Yeah. And
It-
I say
it's-
this about science. Look, if you can't do something in a moral way, don't fucking talk about it. Don't do it. You know, you have to have a line you don't cross. And it bothers me when science steps over lines.
Science always
agreed,
steps
it's-
out of
it-
lines.
Agreed. Sometimes this really delays things and stuff. And you know, I would love for there to be a cure for some of the things out there. You know, for my spine, I'd love for a cure for my spine. But you know what? If I die before it's found, I'm okay with that. I just hope one day they do find a way to regenerate the cartilage. You know, so
Or you may contact OCP.
ecstasy. What is this? Ecstasy. God damn it. Works great for Parkinson's. Do you mean
No,
the drug or
but-
the band? Hold on. Do you mean the drug or the band?
It's weird that the cure for Parkinson's was discovered in the movie called Awakening.
It's only a temporary though. It's the sad thing.
For some patients, L-Dopa is actually effective, but it doesn't cure it. It's
the British band. Okay, dude. I'm a big fan of theirs. I love XTC, man. I was listening to them in the 80s. Nobody knew who the hell they were. They didn't learn who the fuck they were until the controversy over Dear God came out. And I'm like, well, they did a lot more songs than that beforehand. The Mayor of Simpleton is one of my favorite songs.
I
You
never
ever
heard
hear
of XTC.
You never heard of them. You should listen
There-
to them sometime.
There
They're
is a
like
band
80s.
called XTC in World of Warcraft. It's definitely has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is a real band from the 80s, 90s. And they did the song Dear God. And like I said, my favorite song from them is The Mayor of Simpleton. I think it's a great little tune. And you know, they were kind of a front runner for Bare Naked Ladies, which is another great band.
Hey, let's rap.
Oh, that's right. No, I was talking about this with Cartman. You got Christopher Reeve feeding on babies, taking their stem cells right from the babies. It's fucking gross, but it's funny. And in that it's like mocking what they're actually doing. And Gene Hackman is the hero trying to stop Christopher Reeve, who's becoming super powered because of these. And he becomes like the villain in Superman 4, the superhero Solar Man. And it's just so fucking goofy. And at the same time, so intelligent in the way it was written. And it just made me laugh. And Gene Hackman is the bad guy from Superman, but now he's the good guy trying to stop Christopher Reeve. And he stops him in the end.
So when are we doing the Birdcage on this show?
La Cage aux Folles?
No, the Birdcage.
Oh, well, it's also the Birdcage,
which
but it's
is
in
the
French.
superior movie, by
It
the way.
is. I absolutely agree with you because I've seen both versions, and the version with Nathan Lane and Robin Williams, they're God, the way they work together in that movie is just so fucking brilliant. And I laughed so hard at that movie.
The original one is not funny.
No.
It's not. It's played straight, which is the worst that you can do with that kind of a script, because it takes away all the fun out of the meeting of the two sides.
Yep, I agree with you. Oh, excellent, Sander. Yes, Hackman. He doesn't call him Hackman. He calls him Hackman in the show. That was funny. So again, we talked a little bit about his death right now. I have not gotten any more updates because I've been busy doing other things all day today, and pretty much staying away from my desk on purpose. But I'm gonna look to see what other bad news we get about his death today. It's just terrible. It's heartbreaking, and this was our first day of celebrating. We're going to do it again tomorrow, and we're going to do it again. I think maybe next Wednesday would be good. You can join us on Wednesdays, right?
I'll try. I can't every single Wednesday.
Maybe
lately I've been like slowly melting into the couch around 9 p.m. So there's zero chance for me to show up. Plus, I can only do about an hour because Thursday I have to be at work.
Yeah, I know. You do have to show, and that's fine. Get some good comments in there about what you wanted to say. But I think we can do that on Wednesday. If Martin, are you okay with that?
What?
The bird cage next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it if you're not cool. If you can't.
No.
More work.
No, the thing
Yeah,
is,
'cause
I
he's
don't
gonna do
know.
the
I don't know
slideshow.
if I have the movie, but I know that if I don't have it, you can help me get it.
Yeah, I've got my connections. So anyway, guys, I want to.
If you need it, I've got Mexican connections too.
That sounds scary. I don't know why.
The website has a .mx on it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank Andy Morrow for being here. D. Bud Martin, Bush McFadden, Penny, Snortopoopas Cuber, 11 Alpha was here, Paul Smith. And by the way, Paul and all you guys, thank you, Sander, all you guys that threw information up there for us, helping us out. We deeply appreciate it. It's always cool when you guys can Google faster than us, or if you know something before we know it. That's awesome. So again, thanks again, Paul Smith. Vinkman's Girl was here. Comic Relief Crusader Mike did a nice audience dump on us. He took a dump on the show. And our good friend Tim is here, FK8C 2005. And of course, Sander Hemmerschlag and Das Warfen dropped in here at the end, John. And well, that's it for today. Don't forget, tonight, John's going to be getting his ass handed to him again by another video game. You guys might want to drop in and watch that. Watch him die continuously throughout the show. It'll be great.
He's dying less. He's dying less.
Less, but still a lot.
How about hitting his target? Is he improving on that?
Yeah, is he getting better at shooting? I think one of my favorite moments was gaming with Martin, and I recorded it. And I turn to my left, and I see Martin pop up. He spawns, and immediately gets shot down while I'm looking at him. And I just aimed, and I waited. And the guy that killed him comes running around the corner, and I wasted him. And I said, "I avenged your life, Martin."
And he said, "Thank you, boss."
Yeah, he kept calling me boss on it, and it's like weirded me out.
Always.
That over gaming, because people have no idea what the fuck's going on. Kind of weird relationship we have. So, but anyway, that was a fun game. Remember that? I smoked the entire team. I ended up having like the highest score of the game, and still my team lost. I'm like, how did I kick the shit out of that team like that? And we still lose. And then Martin's like, because everybody else on our team sucked. And he said, including me. And I went, no, you're not that bad. I think you did better than some of them.
What did you play?
Call of Duty.
Oh.
Which one was that? I forget. Which Call of Duty were we playing?
Oh, I think it was
Modern Warfare
3.
Yeah, 3. And I like playing it live, but you get a lot of cheaters on there. And I absolutely get off at 3 o'clock in the morning. I get off there. That's when the Russians get on. And they are the biggest cheaters on the fucking planet. They hack like crazy. Because nobody polices them there in Russia.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care.
I guess they have other things to worry about, maybe.
I will eventually do the French Connection because it is one of my favorite films. I corrected a magazine yesterday. I don't know if they paid attention to me. I tagged the magazine and the journalist. And I said it wasn't Francis Ford Coppola that directed him in his first Oscar win. That was I just forgot his name. William Friedkin. Friedkin directed him in The French Connection. Coppola directed him in The Conversation. He didn't get an Oscar for that. And
Nope.
I because they wrote that in the article, and I'm like, you need to correct that. That's wrong. And tagged him, bagged him, and I don't think they changed it.
We have done The French Connection. In fact,
no, we didn't do it. Chief did it.
I'm seeing it here.
It
6
was
months
us?
ago. Yes, both the chief.
Was I
and
high?
us. Yes.
Was I high? That might be why. I don't know. I don't remember doing that, but I love that movie. Oh yes, I remember talking about how they did guerrilla filmmaking in it, and they did that. That stunt was out without permission, and that car that gets hit was a guy going to work, and it's on camera and in the movie.
Yeah, and I
actually hit that
remember
guy.
the face you made that most probably you're going to repeat when I said I find it boring.
Oh, when you said you found it, yeah, you're sad. That's it, guys. Thanks everybody for being here today. Mephisto, thanks all for hanging out with us, talking about this movie.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it, man. We love having you on here.
This
You are part of the family.
This
Conversation is one I want to do.
We have referenced that movie enough times that it needs to be.
We need to talk about it. It is really a boring movie. I liked it because it's a slow burn from beginning to end, and it is a prequel to the movie that Will Smith did with Gene Hackman, because they subvertly said that the character Gene Hackman plays is that guy. It's the same character. They said it. So, yeah, what is the name of that movie? I don't think it's Public
My
Enemy.
camera froze.
Public Enemy. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's
Enemy of the
Enemy, is it?
State.
Enemy
There
of the
you
State.
go.
Right,
Thank
right,
you. Enemy of the State. Public.
Yeah.
Enemy. So, thank you, Mephisto, for saving Martin.
The conversation is to the enemy of the state is Bond to the movie The Rock, because it's supposedly the same. It's not James Bond, but it's the guy behind
Connery.
007.
They say, that's one of the fan theories, and I think it's a good fan theory that he's playing old Bond that got in prison because of some of the shit he did. So
yeah.
But that's it, guys. We're going to get the hell out of here. Everybody have a great Friday. Don't forget tonight with John Das Wolfen. And then also don't forget it's Friday Night Frolics with Doomcock. It's always fun to watch his show, man. Always fun. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about another Gene Hackman film. Martin?
Oh, yes. Unforgiven.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss that.
I know you got your show, and we're starting our show at 3:00. But whenever we're going to have Cameron Pasha on, we're going to start at 4 because he has his afternoon prayers that he does.
Okay.
And I know you won't be there. That's okay, buddy. Because you're
no, I can't do the Saturday show. I can't do the Saturday show regardless.
You're getting old and you get tired, and I get it.
It's not about being tired. It's about I'm working on a Sunday.
I know, man. He's old. This is old. The fish comes old. Come on, sister, jump in with me. Jump in with me? Come on, man. Argue with me. Mephisto didn't argue with me.